Homeless in America, Vancouver's hidden crisis. This is not just another story. It's a reality few dare to look at closely. Welcome to Vancouver, a city known for its beauty, wealth, and opportunity. But beneath its gleaming skyline lies a much darker truth. On nearly every block, at the edges of the sidewalks, in forgotten corners of alleyways, you'll find them. People without homes, without shelter, without safety. What was once a social issue has morphed into a full-blown humanitarian emergency. Vancouver's homelessness crisis is not slowing down. Despite repeated attempts to intervene, the problem keeps growing, outpacing every solution offered. And the contrast couldn't be more jarring. A city praised globally for its quality of life now stands as a painful example of inequality, where opulence and suffering exist side by side. So, we ask the difficult question: in a place as rich, modern, and developed as Vancouver, why are thousands still sleeping on pavement every single night? Stick with us to the end of this episode because the answer will both shock and enlighten you. And if you'd like us to investigate homelessness in another city or region, drop your suggestion in the comments. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe if you want to uncover more hidden stories from society's blind spots. This issue didn't appear overnight. It's been years in the making. According to the 2023 homeless count, Vancouver's homeless population had risen to 2,420 people. Out of those, 605 had no shelter at all, living outdoors, exposed to the elements. However, as of 2024 and 2025, no new official data has been released. Unofficial estimates in 2024 suggest the true number may now exceed 4,000. These numbers vary, but one thing is clear: they're climbing, and fast. It's a chilling reflection of the city's deepening housing crisis, one that mirrors a growing emergency unfolding across Canada's urban centers. At the heart of Vancouver lies the Downtown East Side, or DTES. It's a neighborhood famous for its community and culture, but also infamous for its poverty, drug use, and homelessness. Here, the crisis is visible, raw, and undeniable. A walk through these streets reveals the stark truth. Tents line the sidewalks. Tarps and cardboard form makeshift shelters. The air is heavy with exhaustion and despair. But behind every tarp, every bundle of blankets, there's a life, a story, a person. In 2023, the Carnegie Housing Project recorded over 605 people living completely unsheltered, many of them in the DTs. They live without access to clean drinking water, sanitation, or medical care. And yet, this is one of Vancouver's most prominent neighborhoods. The growing number of encampments is a loud alarm bell. It signals how drastically the city is failing its most vulnerable. With each passing year, the social cost mounts. Neighborhoods like the DTES are now battling not only poverty, but rising public health threats. Infections, addiction, mental health breakdowns, these are no longer individual crises, they're community-wide emergencies. And for those trying to get help, the path is littered with barriers. Medical access is limited. Support programs are stretched too thin. Mental health services are underfunded and overwhelmed. Thousands live with anxiety, PTSD, and untreated depression, locked in survival mode with no way out. Vancouver's social safety net is fraying. The demand for shelter beds, emergency care, and outreach services is far beyond what's currently available. Despite efforts by city and provincial governments, most solutions are short-term. Band-aids on a gaping wound. Unemployment and poverty continue to fuel the crisis. In 2024, homelessness in Vancouver rose another 5%, bringing the official count to 1,366 individuals. That year, for the first time in 6 years, the number of people in shelters exceeded those on the streets. But this small progress came with a tragic cost. a 29% spike in homeless deaths from the year before. Some progress. But at what price? Yes, new shelters were opened. Yes, emergency housing units were added, but the overall capacity still falls short, especially during winter or extreme weather. When shelters are full, people are left out in the cold, literally. The economic factors only add fuel to the fire. As of late 2024, the unemployment rate in Vancouver was 6.7%, with youth unemployment alarmingly high at 14.4%. Worse still, 16% of children in the city were living in poverty. In certain neighborhoods, that figure exceeded 20%. How can families dream of housing when food, clothing, and safety are already a daily battle? This is a systemic loop. People lose jobs, they can't afford rent, they end up on the street, and once they're there, the odds of returning to stability drop dramatically. Breaking this cycle will take more than emergency beds. It will require a total shift in policy, a commitment to affordable housing, living wages, accessible health care, and true social support. Even where progress is made, it's not enough to dismantle the core of the problem. This crisis is not just about homelessness, it's about hopelessness. And while downtown Eastside is the epicenter, it's not the only place affected. Let's take a closer look at some of Vancouver's emerging homelessness hotspots. The hotspots of Vancouver's homelessness crisis. Outside of the Ditas, encampments have begun to spread. West Vancouver, East Vancouver, and areas near the University of British Columbia are now facing a similar reality. Even in some of the most luxurious neighborhoods, homelessness has quietly crept in. Public parks, school zones, street corners. What was once seen only in marginalized areas is now showing up where property values soar. This shift has ignited conflict. Homeowners in affluent neighborhoods have begun to voice frustration. Tents near schools raise safety concerns. Encampments in parks spark protests. But these reactions highlight a deeper issue. It's not just about discomfort, it's about disconnection, about a community unsure how to coexist with crisis. Balancing the rights of unhoused individuals with the expectations of housed residents has become one of the city's greatest challenges. And unless there is a holistic response, tensions will only grow. The strain on resources and public systems. The more the homeless population rises, the more stress lands on public infrastructure. Emergency responders, hospitals, outreach workers, they're all overwhelmed. The city has tried, funding has increased, programs have expanded, but shelters are still full. Wait lists are still long, and every night people are still sleeping under bridges, in alleys, and beside busy intersections. Skyrocketing rent, inflation, and stagnant wages have only made it worse. As Vancouver becomes less affordable, more people slip through the cracks. This isn't just a citywide issue, it's a Canadian crisis, a modern tragedy in one of the world's most livable cities. The final takeaway is this: what's happening in Vancouver could happen anywhere. If we don't treat housing as a human right, if we don't invest in prevention rather than reaction, then the tents will multiply. The systems will collapse, and our cities will fail the people who need them most. This is more than just homelessness. It's a test of our collective humanity. As the camps grow, the hope shrinks. Each year, the tent cities grow larger. What once seemed temporary now feels permanent. Emergency shelters play a role, but they were never designed to solve the whole crisis. They offer a roof, but not a future. They don't address the root of the problem, not the untreated trauma, not the hidden battles with addiction, not the complete lack of affordable places to live. So what happens? People cycle in and out, night after night, year after year, with nowhere else to go. And while they wait for a better option, the system stays broken. Vancouver's healthcare system, too, is buckling under the weight of this crisis. Many who live on the streets suffer from chronic illnesses, yet can't access a doctor. Their conditions worsen in silence. The healthcare crisis. Within the homeless crisis, imagine trying to heal from disease while sleeping in the rain. No clean water, no medicine, no rest. It's no surprise that infections like tuberculosis, hepatitis C, and HIV are higher among the unhoused. And then there's the psychological toll: anxiety, depression, PTSD. Without care, pain becomes permanent. And yet, the healthcare system simply can't keep up. Overcrowded clinics, long waits, and lack of outreach leave many untreated. It's not just a health issue anymore, it's a humanitarian emergency. Broken services and the cycle of survival programs meant to help, mental health support, addiction recovery, crisis care, are in critically short supply. Some services exist, but not enough. And when they do, the wait lists are long and the follow-up is weak. So, where do people go? Often, nowhere. Or they end up in the ER. Or they're taken in by police. Not because they committed crimes, but because there's simply no other option. This creates a tragic loop. No treatment, crisis, arrest, release, repeat. And each cycle makes it harder to escape. Policing the unhoused, a broken system. Police are called again and again, not to stop crime, but to manage mental breakdowns and overdoses. Without proper housing or treatment options, officers become first responders to suffering. And that's not what policing was meant for. Instead of care, many get handcuffs. Instead of healing, they get jail time. For countless individuals, homelessness becomes criminalized, punished instead of understood.